Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Madhavi I. Sarkar from Department of Zoology, Khulishani Mahavidyalaya. Today I am going to present a topic, hunger and satiety, key regulators in obesity, a part of the micro-teaching program of refresher course organized by the UGC MMTTC Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Maratha University. Now, we all of know that food is deeply intertwined with our memory and emotion. The pleasure of eating is one of the most universal and profound joys of human existence. Now, the question is, why do we eat? Because the drive for food is a powerful stimulus that arises from our metabolic need to fuel ourselves. There are two strong signals like hunger, the strong physiological drive to eat, and satiety, a being of fulfillment after getting food. Now coming to the point of obesity. Obesity has become a major health hazard, can be described as a new world syndrome. It is a chronic condition caused the excessive accumulation of body fat. Most people believe that obesity is simply caused by eating too much and moving too little. But it is not a single disorder, rather a heterogeneous group of conditions with multiple causes like genetic, metabolic, food habit, and socio-economic influences. Now, the objective of this presentation, that is, I address the question here, how are hunger and satiety regulated by the central nervous system circuitries involved in energy homeostasis and the development of obesity? These are the learning outcomes that after listening this presentation, a student can explain the physiological mechanisms governing hunger and satiety within the hypothalamus. They can differentiate between orexigenic and anoxygenic neurons. They can analyze how the dysregulations of appetite regulating hormones contribute to obesity. They can evaluate the mechanism of hormonal resistance in obesity and also can apply the practical knowledge to improve their satiety and reduce overeating. Now, there are various means through which we can screen for obesity. Most widely used method is the body mass index. How to calculate the body mass index? It is simply calculated by the formula of body weight in kilograms divided by height in meters squared. According to the WHO 2000, the persons having the BMI value 30 but less than 40 is considered to be the obese people. The map showing the prevalence of obesity among the worker of the reproductive age in different states of India using the latest National Family Health Survey report. The results shown the prevalence was greatest in Punjab and lowest in Meghalaya. Now the question, who is considered the most important central regulator of obesity? The answer is hypothalamus, a small region below the thalamus in human brain that plays the crucial role. There are two primary regions of hypothalamus, like the lateral hypothalamus, considered as a hunger center, promotes the feeding, and the ventromedial hypothalamus, consider the satiety center, and finally the arcuate nucleus, which receive various signals from the GI tract, and this nucleus send the neurons to regulate the hunger and satiety center. Now let us see how this gut-brain communication is actually happen. There are two chemical messengers that seem to play the important role in gastric brain communication through neuroendocrine signaling are ghrelin, also known as the hunger hormone, and leptin. Ghrelin is a peptide hormone secreted by the stomach. Let us see how does it happen. When the stomach is empty, ghrelin is secreted. And after release into the blood, ghrelin crosses the blood-brain barrier and it binds to the receptor of hypothalamus cell populations. The ventromedial nucleus neurons expressing the AMP activated protein kinase and the arcuate nucleus expressing the agouti related protein and neuropeptide Y, thus induces the appetite. Ghrelin also induces the gastric acid secretion and gastrointestinal motility to prepare the body for food intake. This is also known as the roxygenic pathway that activates the NPY AGRP neurons. Now the another hormone is the leptin, which is also known as the satiety hormone, secreted by the adipocytes, leads to satiety, decrease the food intake and increase energy expenditure. Now this diagram shows how the leptin and ghrelin together act. Leptin is secreted in proportion to the body mass, decrease appetite by inhibiting neurons that produces NPY-ARGP, while it triggers the melanocortin producing neurons POMC-CART, that is pro-opiomelanocortin, and cocaine and amphetamine related transcript that inhibit eating and promote the energy expenditure via the higher order neurons. Therefore, the leptin function as a feedback mechanism that signals to hypothalamus to feel satiety and thus regulating body weight. Now, what happens in case of leptin resistance? Interestingly, in obese people, the leptin levels are chronically elevated, owing to more active free form of circulating leptin in contrast to the lean individuals that desensitize the leptin receptors and the brain becomes less sensitive to leptin. That leads to the leptin resistance, creating obesity. Thus, this hyperleptemia is the key marker of leptin resistance. When these hunger and satiety hormones becomes dysregulated, it contributes to the several eating disorders, like these are mentioned in the slide. So therefore, the obesity has so many risk factors like cardiovascular disease, gallbladder disease, osteoarthritis, and so on. So the management of obesity is very necessary. It includes the gaining self-control, where the behavioral therapy is the most useful one, the modification of diet by restriction of calories by taking low-calorie diets, the physical activity that substantially reduces the obesity and insulin resistance, and in extreme cases, various pharmacotherapy with doctor consult. These are some popular physical activity exercises generally supervised by the practitioners to reduce the body weight. Now I summarize the presentation that we found that the body weight and energy homeostasis are regulated by a complex neuroendocrine circuit that consists of orexigenic and anoxigenic neuronal synthesis with an external manifestation of hunger and satiety. The obesity deviation from the energy balance is a medical condition that largely raises a large number of metabolic abnormalities and associated comorbidities from middle to higher age. Hence, it is necessary to control the obesity from the early age, as there is a risk of persistence to the adulthood. So my message to everyone that simply we can control it by maintaining the normal physiological rhythm of ghrelin leptin cycle in a self-controlled manner with a combination of healthy diet and a sort of physical activity. These are the references that assist to study this topic, and there are two questions for the listeners. First is, which is the following correctly describe the role of ghrelin in the regulation of hunger and obesity? And the second question is, if a patient with obesity has higher circulating leptin but no reduction in the appetite, which defect most likely explain her persistent hunger? Now I would like to acknowledge the EGCM MTTC, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Maratha University, and thanks to all for patience hearing.